Okay, we are still in chapter 7 of the Metu Netter. This is video part 2. Now, we have discussed that there are 10 spheres in the tree of life. The 0, you progress through these spheres from 10 to 0. So backward, not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You actually go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 0 being the supreme being, your zenith. In my mind, that is the complete functioning with the energy from which you came, the energy in which makes everything function. That is the core of who you are. That's our revelation of a soul in religion. The unseen, the forces of nature. That's where we align back to from which we came. Very much like the human body has billions of cells that live and die and have jobs and all of that. We're nothing but that to the universe. We're like a cell. Because if you think about it, our cells reproduce, they have a job, they communicate, they live, they die, they have a lifespan, and they're so minute we can't see them. As are we to the universe. We are the cells of a celestial deity, which has revealed itself to man as God. The universe is alive. Nothing dead in nature can support something alive. So the universe itself has to be alive if we're alive, logically. So not to get into a bunch of philosophy, we're going to move through these points. All of the other faculties represented from spheres 8 to 1 are in the dormant state. Now, the first 28 years of our lives is spent awakening and developing the 8th and 7th spheres. Now, remember, 10 and 9 we get coming in the game. We get our personality, our ability to learn, and our physical self. All right? You get that coming in the game. Now we're coming to sphere 7 and 8. And what are spheres 7 and 8? Because if the social order is enlightened, because our 7 and 8, let's make sure we got that. 8 is technology, commerce. That's pretty much how we take care of ourselves. That's how we organize our societies and take care of ourselves. And then the 7th sphere is scientific and artistic and invention. So 1 is how we set up our communities. 8, the 8th sphere, how we set up our communities and civilizations. 7 is how we advance them. Now, just like we all have natural talents, some people can read real fast. Some people are just really, really smart. Some people can draw really well. Some people can do, I don't know why I did that with my right hand because I'm left-handed. Some people can draw really well. I would imagine that some of us have an intuitive ability in some spheres more than others. So I think what separates us of some of our people like Picasso or Einstein or Michael Jordan, that some of these spheres are naturally open. So a mastery of ability comes through because they didn't have to progress to it. They probably got it with 9 and 10. Stands to reason, stands to logic. That's the beauty of information and awareness. You can play with it and kind of think about it. But that's what we're looking at with 7 and 8. And the thing is that you become a candidate for the moral part of the spirit, which is 6, 5, and 4. Okay. You're born with 10 and 9, physical and the ability to learn. The first 28 years of your life, you have that. And with the proper environment, you're working to develop 8 and 7. My ability to set up and function in my civilization. And 7 is my ability to advance said civilization by way of creativity, inventions. Okay. So our moral faculties is 6, 5, and 4. Now let's stop. What if there was a historic group of people that were completely unaware of these revelations, or their energy did not align with this energy that was given to other groups of people? They'd function with the ability of 10 and 9, because that's what we're all born with. And they would be extremely scientific. They'd be extremely creative in the ability to advance their society. But notice, everything about that is out. Everything about that is external to them. If they're not aware of, and again, you go back to KRS-One, what you're not aware of, you don't see. I think it's a couple videos back where I talk about a person goes into the room. That's a painter. And the painter will come into a room and he'll say, oh, this is off-white, probably an oil-based paint. That's going to need to be touched up. That's starting to flake. They should have used a primer before they put this down. And he's going to see paint things because that's what he's aware of. That's what he has words for. That's what he has been trained or educated to recognize. So he's aware of it, so he sees it. A plumber comes into the same room. He's not trained in paint. He's trained in plumbing. So he's going to come in. He's going to see the water fountain. He's going to see the sink. He's going to see where the pipes probably run. That's okay. That's probably the hot water. That's probably shut-off main. That's probably in this wall. Even if he doesn't see the pipes because of where the particular apparatus may sit, he'll know how the pipes generally run. And he'll have all of these words and awarenesses of plumbing because that's what he doesn't see the other stuff because he's not aware of the other stuff because he doesn't have the words because he wasn't given that training. And an electrician comes in, the same thing. He sees ohms and volts and halogen lights and wires running and balances and bulbs and volts, and he sees all of that all in the same room. 3 different people, 3 different trainings, all see different things. If this group was not aware of 6, 5, and 4, it is very much likely that we would have a group that only functioned within the realm of external society, external learning, and physical things. That sounds a lot like the European, which is why it is logical to understand that no true religion has been discovered or revealed through European people based on how they have historically functioned. Now, to think on an abstract level is 4, 5, and 6. They only recognize as immoral those specific examples of immorality that have been pointed out to them. Again, this goes out to the words. If you don't know it, you don't see it. So if they only recognize immoral if they only recognize as immoral those specific examples of immorality that have been pointed out to them. If this particular group has never had it pointed out to them, then they don't have a basis of morality, which is why you can have things like the Atlantic slave trade. Not to get overly political, but let's keep reading on. On their own, they cannot see that forcing others, children, or anyone else to inhale tobacco smoke is even more immoral than slapping a stranger. So it's given an example of secondary smoke. If someone is smoking and they are unaware that the secondary smoke is harming other people, they're going to continue to do it because they have only been given information based on what is pleasurable to them. So what I'm not aware of, I don't see. That goes back to the political alignment I was making. But when the individual develops the faculty of the third sphere, he or she has the ability to influence events in the environment through the use of words and power. Going back to what we were talking about, the word supremacy. When you understand the power of words, you can develop that power. So using something or a word incorrectly is extremely important. We're going to pick back up in video 3.